All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praise, honor, and glory be to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Wahako Dash Wacha. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well of Yasha Allah. Peace and blessings to the faithful elect, you men out teaching this truth and sincerity. All right. To you I say shalom, wabarakium, peace and blessings. And to the rest of you of Yasha Allah that are awakening, during these times by the grace, mercy, power, spirit, and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Yahweh in the name Yahweh Shai. I say shalom, shalom wabarakium as well. All right. So as you can see, dog off the leash. We got a dog off the leash, man. A dog off the leash that needs to be put down by who set him out, who let him roam free, right? And that's Yahweh. And these dogs will be gathered by the dog catchers, and put in the pound. The dog catchers being Yahweh Shai, right, who people ignorantly call Jesus, being the head dog catcher on down to the rest of the angels, the archangels, and, the elect men on this earth, right, of the nation of Yasha Allah, of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians who have awakened to this truth. You men, we're gonna catch these dogs according to the scriptures, and we're gonna put them in a dog pound, right? The dog pound being slavery, all right? And in that slavery, you're gonna be subject to the same things we have been subject to, right? Mockery, everything being given into our hands, but permanently. You have your ugly women, here mocking, our women gonna mock you, all right? So I'm gonna get straight to it. Breaking: cop who placed Elijah McClain in a deadly chokehold is fired, along with two of three cops seen laughing in photos as they reenacted his death at the site of his killing after the third resigned. This is an article by Karen. This is an article by Karen Ruiz and Harriet Alexander for DailyMail.com. Post July 3rd, 2020. As you can see, you have Elijah McClain, the lower left of the picture, Jake, of course, and one of the cops that was actually involved in his death, whose name is Rosenblatt or something like that. But we'll scroll down, we'll get it. So we'll get some of these details, right? They say Elijah McClain, 23, was killed by three white Edomite policemen in Aurora, Colorado on August 24th. He was walking home from a convenience store when someone called 911. Three officers arrived on the scene. Three for someone walking home. Jason Rosenblatt, Nathan Woodyard, Randy Rodema held McClain in a chokehold, and McClain died. Three other officers, Jaron Jones, Erica Marrero, and Kyle Dittrich, posed for a reenactment photo. Jones resigned on Thursday, while Marrero and Dittrich were fired on Friday for their part in the stage scene. He resigned because he knew what he did. They knew what they did. So this is real, Rosenblatt did not participate in the staging of the pictures, but was also fired on Friday for possessing them. And that's Rosenblatt right there the bottom left corner on the right, though. It say the other two involved in McClain's killing, Woodyard and Rodema, remain on Aurora police force. So this in the scriptures. The Lord said this is what goes on and what was going to go on, you know, before it started going on in this day and age. But anyway, one of the Colorado policemen involved in the death of Elijah McClain last August, because this happened last year, you know, so nothing happened to them. They stayed on the force, all three of them. One of the guys actually involved was just fired due to this, because Esau, he forwards the affliction, which the Lord is pissed at. But the cup is going to pass to you, man, which is what this is going into. The cup is getting ready to pass to you, man. You know, but double. They say one of the Colorado policemen involved in the death of Elijah McClain last August has been fired after receiving photos of 3 officers mocking and reenacting the killing outside the 23-year-old's memorial. All right, so these people, the Lord's revealing them. They the devil. They hate you. You have no reason to want anything to do with these people. They are your enemies. They're the devil, right? Satan incarnated. They're the true red people of the earth, right? They're not white. They're red. Edom means red. Esau gave birth to the Edomites, the red people of the earth, the people with no pigmentation, the wicked, the counterpart of Jacob, who consists of so-called blacks, aka Negroes, so-called Latinos, and Native American Indians. That's why so-called white people, aka Caucasian, who are truly the red people, the Edomites, have a history of doing nothing but oppressing so-called blacks, Native American Indians, and so-called Latinos, because these people are actually Jacob, the twin brother of who the so-called white people are, which is Edomites, Esau. The little brother who Esau hates. All right? So this cup is getting ready to pass to them. Now we're going to go ahead and get some of these photos real quick. It's like the 3rd time I did this video. Anyway, so this is Jaron Jones Center. It says resigned from Aurora Police on Thursday for staging. So he set it up, the reenactment photo. Erica Marrero, far left, and Kyle Dittrich, right. Okay. So they're the devil, man. This is the vessels that were given to Satan, right? Shaitan. This is who Yahweh gave. This is who Yahweh gave Satan to incarnate through and do all his working. These are the vessels that does his bidding, right? This is why these people were written to be destroyed. But before they're destroyed, this cup that so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians have drunken of has to pass to them first. A double portion, though. Right? They say the 3 also took a smiling selfie on October 20th, 2019, after posing for the reenactment of McClain's killing in Colorado. You know? And this is the guy right here, Jason Rosenblatt, who was involved in McClain's fatal arrest last August, was fired on Friday for receiving a photo reenacting McClain's killing. I mean, look at these dudes, man. You know? The red guy, the little inferior red people of the earth. You know? Who has, the creator of all of this, his people in their hand. you know, as a punishment. But he never wanted, you know, they're forwarding what it was supposed to just be about. And that's why they're gonna receive double, man. Right? So these guys, you know, nothing but a KKK dude with a so-called police uniform on, man. Satan. All right. It's the Jake, and it's not to feel bad for you, Jakes, you so-called Negroes, blacks, and Latinos, because you don't want to turn back to the Father, man. You know, you people keep raising your children according to the ways of Babylon. You know, some of you heard the truth, know the truth, and you just, so the Lord, he said he was going to do this, man. But this is him, you know, 140 pounds, you know, he was an example, man. He was just made it, used as an example to reveal who the so-called white man truly is. That's the devil, the demons, the wicked, the evil, the dogs of the earth, the sword, you know, and him being an example to you Israelites, man. Rest of you black so-called, aka Negroes, so-called Native American Indians out there. So this is more than a headlock that took place that they did to him, because they're the devil, man. How is this a headlock? How is this the result of a headlock? You know? That's not an arrest, man. That's assault. You people will be assaulted in the kingdom of heaven. All right? The smirks. You know? But what do you expect from the devil? Know your enemy. You know, Jake don't know what's going on. A lot more Israelites about to die. You know, 2/3. And you know, in America, it says, "I can't breathe." This is some of his last words. He said that was obviously caught on a body cam that these police, you know, they wear. You know, the Lord allowed that to come out so we could see, so he could, as a further way of them being revealed. He said he's gonna lift up their skirts. You know. No one's in control, man. The Lord is allowing people to go on and do the things they do for his purpose. I can't breathe. I have my ID right here. My name is Elijah McClain. That's my house. I was just going home. I am an introvert. I'm just different. That's all. I'm so sorry. I have no gun. I don't do that stuff. I don't do any fighting. Why are you attacking me? I don't even kill flies. I don't eat meat, but I don't judge people. You know? And they jump down. I just can't breathe correctly. Proceeds to vomit from the pressure to his chest and neck. You know? So these people, they finished, man. And this is from a so-called Edomite, man. Slaki, so-called white woman. You know? She said, Elijah McClain's last words should haunt us all. Salakia, should haunt all of us. I could barely get through listening to it. You know? He died in a chokehold walking home from a store. Listen to the audio and tell me there isn't true. Unabashed evil in this world. See that? The answer to tongue from the Lord, man. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it. We're going to go to Isaiah. We're going to go to Isaiah. Isaiah 13 and 11. All right? And it reads, it says, "And I will punish the world for their evil." Right? So keyword punish. Jacob is being punished. You got two worlds, though. You got Jacob's world and you got Esau's world. Right? Isaiah 45 and 17 tell you it's a world of Jacob. Right? You read the Apocrypha, but the earth isn't in the hands of Jacob right now. Jacob is the oppressed so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. So if they're not running the earth, but the earth, it says in Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked, but they're not the ones running the earth. They're not the wicked. Who's the earth? Who would the earth be by process of elimination be given to? I'm gonna just tell you, so-called white men, so-called white people. So they're the wicked. So they have a world, but that world is talked about in what's known right here as the Apocrypha. All right, the hidden books they took out. Esau's the end of the world. You're seeing the end of end of Esau's world, and while you're seeing these so-called white people being revealed and constantly making themselves look bad, but nothing is really being said about them except from the prophets. You know what I'm saying? And these Jakes, these people that are part of the Black Lives, these protesters, aka so-called whistleblowers and crap like that out here. But anyway, I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. So there you go, man. So-called white man, his arrogancy is on high. You got you got the damn so-called white woman. She proud. She saw. The world's revealing her as Karen right now, which goes back to Horn. Because she's Satan. She's of the so-called, and that's only put on the so-called white woman, Karen. She's of the so-called white race, who's actually Esau. They're devils, man. All of them devils. They're calling her Karen. All right? So that's arrogancy right there. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. So the Lord's starting to have them get fired. They're actually starting to be called out. But they're not being held accountable according to their own system. Because half of these people, they stayed on the force. It's just they continue being arrogant. After you already killed the man's killed. He's already gone, man. He's gone. He left last year, and they go back and reenact it, cause they're the devil, man. All right, now let's go to Lamentation. Matter of fact, let's go to real quick. Let's go to Zechariah 11, cause I don't want this cut off, man. Zechariah 11 and let's do it like this first though. To prove this is happening to only Israel. This is the 11th chapter. This is Psalms 44 and 11. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat. Thou, who's the thou? The Most High, the Heavenly Father, the Creator. Thou, so Yahweh, the people call God, the Father, Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen. Right? Thou sellest thy people for naught, and those not increase thy wealth by their price. So the Lord ain't ultimately getting nothing out of it, man. This was just to punish Jake, But as I said, let me go back real quick and make sure I really prove that so I can make this make sense. This is 21, same chapter. 22, Salakia. Psalms 44 and 22. Yeah, for thy sake are we killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. You know what I'm saying? We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. So this is why this is exactly how it's going down, man. I just killed the sheep, That's basically this, man. The Lord got us going. So this dude has no power, man. The Lord got this going on, man. But the cup is getting ready to pass to him, which we're getting right now. It says, Lamentations 4:18. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. What's the emblem or the symbol, of America, man? An eagle. They pursued us. So-called white man. It's how the Lord talks, man. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. You can't escape these devils. They just want you everywhere, man. Lamentations 4:20. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Lord, was taken in their pits, of whom we said, under his shadow we shall live among the heathen. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. So they're gone. You know what I'm saying? They have their own supply. You know, they lost in their own sauce, and they're revealing exactly who they are, man. You know, people hack phones 24/7. You know, all type of stuff like that, man. So they revealing exactly who they are, man. You know, so you're caught red-handed, man. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. So ain't gonna be no more so-called white people doing this to anybody. Lord, he did that to us. He sold us for naught, right? Through the so-called white man, right? He allowed that to happen. We ain't going into captivity no more after this. Is it. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So you didn't get away with anything, man. All right? Revelation tell you that he that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. All right? Now, let me get this, because I was supposed to go to that next. So he gave us a sheep as a sheep of the slaughter, right? For the slaughter, right? Zechariah 11:4. It says, thus saith the Lord my God, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. Whose possessors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. You know? You just kill a nigga, a wetback, you know, Indian or whatever, you know? So that's that. Now let me get my other point, man. This is was that Zephaniah? No, it's Zechariah 1:15. The Lord's pissed, man. It say, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. So very is an adjective, man. So he's not only displeased, he's very displeased, man. He's very sore displeased. You get that word displeased, make you feel this, man. Kotazapa. It says to be displeased, be angry, fret oneself, be wroth, to be full of wrath, to be furious, to provoke to wrath or anger, to put oneself in a rage, anger oneself, to crack off, burst out in rage. The Lord, he about to wild out on you so-called white people, man. All you heathens, you so-called Africans who helped set it up, you so-called Chinese who proud, you so-called Japanese, Ammon, Chinese, Moab, so-called white people, no matter if you're German, Jewish, Irish, Swedish, Polish, whatever you want to call it, you're Edom, man. The red people, man. You're Edom. You're Esau, man. You're Edomites. And the rest of you Elamites, East Indians, you Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs, you people finished, man. But it's really about Esau, man. Everything's about Jacob and Esau. All right, so the Lord, he's pissed, man. He was just a little displeased, and the heathen are at ease. You know, like we're literal meat. Zechariah 1:15. So he not only angry wroth, ready to crack off, etc. He said he very sore displeased, right? He's very, what is it, Quatazapa? Yeah, Quatazapa, man. He's very Quatazapa. With the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. You know what I'm saying? You're doing more than he told you than this was for, man. This guy already went back to the spirit world. You killed him. Lord made an example of him. But here you go. You know, so when you go into that word affliction, affliction is evil. We succumbing to evil things like the so-called white woman said on the Twitter account. Evil in this world, man. They're evil. Yeah, you people. Your people. So evil is ra in Hebrew, and it means bad, disagreeable, unpleasant, giving pain, unhappiness, misery, worse than, worse, comparison, hurtful, unkind, bad, evil, wicked, ethically, in general, of persons, thoughts, deeds, actions, right? Injury, wrong, because they are the evil. They're the wicked, man. That's why you only see this being pumped through them. Get my last scripture. I'm going to close this out. All right, Isaiah 51. And because the cup is getting ready to pass through, like the Lord said. Start at 17. Awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of the Lord, of Yahweh, the cup of his fury. Thou hast drunken the dregs of trembling and wrung them out. Right? So we're sipping, we've been sipping on the cup of filled with the Lord's, positivity, if you will, or anger, that he caused us to drink. Right? We're drinking the response of him being pissed off because of what we did, right? And doing. Verse 18, there was none to guide her among all the sons whom she hath brought forth. There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she hath brought forth. Neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she brought up, because most Jake don't know what's going on, man. Most is sellouts, most is coons. They want to be pastors, false prophets, you know what I'm saying? Reprobates, etc. These two things are come unto thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction and the famine and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee? You know what I'm saying? Because the sword is a so-called white man himself, man. The sword is a man, man. These dang dogs, man. Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, man. From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, Esau's world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy head treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. Jake don't got nothing to leave behind. That's the so-called white man. So the so-called white man is the sword and the wicked, right? People don't walk around with actual swords no more, man, anymore. Jumping back, So it says, thy son, and the so-called white man, he's the leader of everything. Everyone follows him. So all the heathen, they're getting in on our destruction, our desolation, our famine. So who gonna comfort us, man? When the so-called white man, the sword himself, that's coming upon us. Thy sons have fainted, so-called Negroes, so-called, aka black, so-called Latinos and Native American Indians. Who gonna comfort us? These scriptures, only him, man. The comforter, right? Thy sons have fainted, because everybody's opposing us. And they oppose this, so they oppose us, because this is ours. Thy sons, and truly who we are, is us. Thy sons have fainted, they lie. That's why this fit us only. Thy sons, and it reveals everybody else. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at thy sons have fainted. They lie at the they lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in the net. They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God. So we fainting, man. You know, we just becoming dehydrated, man. So-called white man, he leads our destruction in every way, from promoting artists that rap about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You listen to their music, these rappers that's of your own people, and they rap about you only being focused on things that have nothing to do with anything, making sure that's your focus, vanity, killing each other. You know what I'm saying? Kill that nigga, which is nothing but so-called Native American Indians and Latinos and so-called blacks, aka Negroes, man. You know, that becomes dehydrated, so you're fainting off of that. It's wearing you out. Look, they lie at the head of all the streets. That's all they promoting that. That's why these artists become big, man. Because so-called Esau's pushing it for your desolation, your destruction, for you to faint, man. Can't live off that. That's not hydrating. It's not invigorating. As a wild bull in a net. Who calls themselves bulls? Don't we call ourselves bulls in Philly? Don't Meek Mill say that? My young bull. Jake Wild. Jake call himself cuckoo. You know what I'm saying? Cuckoo gang. In a net. What's a net? It's a trap. Who uses that? More so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Right? That net also being Esau's net. Because the trap was set up due to his system's setup. You know, which is just a trap. You trapping to become further trapped in the trap. You know, to get put in his trap, that paddy wagon. You know, to go down to the station, the precinct. They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God. So we're full of the response of his anger, man. But let's get to the point. And more Israelites is about to die because you're not going to turn back, man. But this is about this cup getting the same as that cup getting ready to pass to Esau, but double, man. And he going to be eradicated. Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Thus saith thy Lord, the Lord, and thy God, that pleaded the cause of his people. Right? Behold. So I know it's coming to our rescue because he is it. Behold. Until he will, then we will. You know, then we'll be all right. But anyway, behold. So he said, listen to this. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over. You know, so-called white man tell us, do you do it? You gonna do that? You know what I'm saying? Walk right over you in every way. So Lord's pissed, man. This cup is getting ready to pass you devils, man. You know. Revelation 13:10 tell you, he that leadeth into captivity shall go. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints, man. And it's only those who have made a covenant with him by sacrifice, which is the Israelites, man, who today are known as so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. And not just any blacks, Negroes, so-called Negroes, who aren't Hamites, who aren't Africans. So you damn devils, you about to pay. This cup is getting ready to pass you. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to say shalom.